Back in December of last year, Netflix announced a remake for One Piece, and basically everyone agreed that this was gonna slap. I mean, you had Wit Studio behind this anime, the studio who made shows like Spy Family, Attack on Titan, Vinland Saga, and Ranking of Kings, some of the best and most flashy anime in modern times. Now, I bet some of you were scratching your nuts and wondering why this even matters. One Piece is notorious for being hard to get into. I mean, first of all, you got that ass long list of episodes. You will catch me interacting with a female before I'm caught up to One Piece. And don't even get me started on the pacing. I have seen alcoholics recover faster than One Piece can adapt 5 chapters. The point is, it's obvious to see why a show like One Piece could go for a remake. I mean, for all that I'm trash talking One Piece, I actually like the show. But that doesn't make me a booger eater who's gonna die defending the series. But enough about One Piece. What about other anime? Well, I could give you some answers where I talk about the love for anime, but those are like 5 lines down from here, and this sentence ends with the word money. When doing anything anime related, money is easily the biggest motivator. Don't believe me? Look at Studio Mappa. They're just the tip of the iceberg, the most well-known case of overworking and underpaying their employees. Though these companies do create anime and enjoy doing it, they are still companies. If they're not gonna see a financial gain, they're not gonna do something. So take Goku, put him in HD, and Mexico will lose their shit. I mean, I folded and bought a box of Goku Reese's Puffs. I am no better. But aside from obvious financial gain, there are reasons that do actually relate to the anime in question. A lot of anime get remakes because their original adaptation didn't really follow the manga's story. Now, I'm not talking about filler, you can just skip that. But what I am talking about is anime original storyline. After shows like Fullmetal Alchemist and Hellsing, studios realized that people wanted the story of Fullmetal Alchemist, not a groomer. It was typically because the anime started a bit too early and caught up to the manga too fast, especially with Fullmetal Alchemist. Though the 2003 anime did a great job at adapting the manga also only released 1 chapter per month. So the anime writers just said fuck it and whipped up their own story. Shows like Sailor Moon started off by following the manga. That's the end of the sentence. Then you have shows that are popular but go extremely slow. It's like watching your parents' marriage fall apart. But I did already talk about One Piece, so I'm not gonna do that again. JoJo's, Hunter x Hunter, and Berserk all got remakes that aim to retell the story of the original and then continue on past the endpoint. Hunter x Hunter added the Chimera Ant arc, which is literally like half of the show's run. JoJo's added 5 entire parts. In 2016, Berserk looks like dog shit. Let it be known that the studio who made Pokemon created the best Berserk anime. That is fucking wild.
Alright, who's gonna jerk me off?
When an anime gets a remake, fans see it as more than just money. I mentioned JoJo's earlier for how its current adaptation has added 5 more parts to the series, but there's a bit more to that story. You see, the original JoJo's anime only adapted part 3, and not only did they adapt the second half before the first half, but it just wasn't good. But now, JoJo's is one of the most beloved anime in modern times. JoJo's is so respected that there's an entire month and flag for JoJo fans these days. I think it's called June or something. Dororo was an anime that came out in the goddamn 1960s, but in 2019, a remake for Dororo came out and people ate that shit up without even knowing that this show was actually ass old. And as somebody who watched the remake and got interested in the original, I got about 10 minutes in before this little twink boy destroyed my eardrums. The point is, remakes can help introduce people to a new franchise. Even bad remakes like Berserk and Shaman King still have a bit of merit. Now, do they suck? Well, no shit, they run through chapters like it's college women. But anyone with a brain can look at 2016 Berserk and realize that there might be some potential here. Anyways, like I mentioned, some anime were adapted at a point where they didn't have enough material from the manga, causing them to throw in filler and make up their own plots. If a studio decides to come back to one of these shows later, they can create an adaptation that is more manga accurate. And even if you don't like the more manga canon story, at least now you got more episodes with Sailor Moon on them. You have the option of picking your favorite version. It's not like you have a gun to your head forcing you to pick which one you like more. Now, I like Trigun, but even after they turned Vash the Stampede into Vash Gets Stampeded, it was still cool to have a new version of Trigun. It's kind of like Jekyll and Hyde, but if he was gay. But oh my god, understanding the difference between a reboot and a remake is like dating a bisexual who's never banged their own gender. Bad transition, I get no bitches. Now, I'm gonna make this brief, so just know that any definition you look up is just gonna contradict another one that you read. Remakes are essentially when a studio takes an anime and, I don't know, remakes it. Retelling the same story, aside from maybe the filler, making it look new and possibly adding on to the end of the story. Hunter x Hunter is a pretty good example. It's basically the exact same story, just without the filler in like 2 times the episodes. But then you get to Reboots, and it just gets fucking stupid. A A reboot is basically taking a pre-existing property and changing the story. So basically Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Though it does follow the manga and anime are completely separate mediums. What it did do is come out after the 2003 anime, which told a completely different story, alright? Do you see the issue here? Google both of these shows, and apparently both of them are reboots. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Now, if you've spent any time watching a remake of sorts, chances are you've come across people picking a side about which is better, the remake or the original. Now, I gotta say, anime fans don't look stupid for once. Everyone sort of agrees that there's no correct answer whether a remake or the original is better. It's usually a case by case. Everyone's gonna tell you that the original Shaman King is better than the remake, but on the other hand, most people are gonna agree that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is a damn good show. So much so that there are kids who deadass create fake accounts on rating websites to cockblock any shows from taking the #1 spot. And as I mentioned before, Brotherhood is a remake, reboot, whatever the fuck. It's the second adaptation of the FMA manga. Both the original Shaman King and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood changed from their other versions, meaning that it's not just crayon eaters saying that canon equals better. The Eva movies are a bit of a 50-50 depending on who you ask, but at least my monkey brain could actually comprehend an Eva plot for once. And even if I shat on Eva a few weeks ago, I thought these movies slapped, alright? At the end of the day, when an anime gets a remake, somebody's gonna benefit. Like I said before, these are companies trying to make money, but there is more to it. So much love and care is put into some of these remakes, and it really shows.
But King Jaiber, what about live action anime?
Get the fuck out!